There's always been this inspiration of holding a pen or a pencil over a blank page. My whole life, I can remember writing. My old journals are filled with stories and poetry, and some of it's true and some of it's not. Through high school, I can remember submitting article after article to Insight magazine and to Guide. And some were published, but for the most part, I got those nice little rejection emails. And I always struggled with how I was going to use my talent of writing for God. I always wondered, how do you go about that? I always admired the great writers of Adventism, and I wanted that, but I didn't know how. So I said, Lord, I know you've given me this. Show me the way to use it. In 2011, I went to my very first GYC, and I was absolutely blessed. GYC showed me for the first time Adventism alive, Adventism in the youth, Adventism the way it should be. It was revolutionary for me to see young people, Adventist young people, doing what Adventists are supposed to do and having fun doing it. It changed my life. And I remember there that they said they needed writers. So I gave someone my email and said, if you need a writer, I'd love to do it for you. Well, a few months passed and nobody emailed me, nobody called, and so I kind of thought, okay, Lord, you're shutting this door, that's fine. But then in November, I went through this dark time. It was one night I was laying in my bed and I remember distinctly seeing like my sins come across almost like a panorama view. And I remember seeing the stains on my soul and just this heaviness, this guilt rested on me. And for 3 days and 3 nights, I wrestled with God. And I remember crying out to God, saying, Lord, please do whatever it takes to save me. Forgive me of my sins. I hang my helpless soul on Christ. And I struggled and I wrestled with God like Jacob did for 3 days and 3 nights. And at the end of the 3 days and 3 nights, I had peace and assurance of forgiveness. 2 weeks later, GYC emailed and they asked me to blog for them. Praise the Lord. For me, God was saying, it's okay, Casey. You're all right. I'm still going to use you. Don't give up yet. The darkness wasn't gone, but I could almost see the light of the morning coming. I went to GYC and I blogged and I rolled and I knocked on doors and I walked through snow and I just praised the Lord. And at the end of GYC, I went forward on a call with one of my good friends. And it was then that the Lord spoke to me and he said, where's your darkness? And I said, it's gone. Now, I don't know if you are going through a dark time spiritually. I don't know if you're struggling, but I can promise you this. The moment that you turn everything over to Christ, the moment that you submit yourselves to his will, I promise you that when you immerse yourself in the work, the darkness will disappear. Because our God is greater, our God is stronger, and his work is what's gonna bring his coming. And as Christians, that is our great hope, is his coming. And maybe you think you're doing fine spiritually, maybe your spiritual life is going great and you have a great connection with God. I would challenge you, drown yourself in the work of the Lord and see what beautiful things will become of it.